What if I told you you can create fully functional tabs using only CSS? Not even a single line of JavaScript is required. Let's see how to do it. To get started, I have a very basic HTML structure, a div with a class of tabs wrapper. Inside that we have tabs nav, inside that we have tab items, and we have our tab contents. And I have also applied some basic styles to our content. And this is what the current output looks like. But how do we add interactivity to our page without using JavaScript? Well, one element that comes to mind is radio inputs. We can click on a radio input element to check or uncheck it, and if we have multiple radio elements with same name, only one of them can be checked at a time. This is exactly what we want. But let's say we don't want to click on our input directly. Instead, let's say we want to click on some text. For that, we can use label element with a for attribute that has same value as the ID of corresponding radio input. We can also put our radio inputs inside the labels. And let's just make the first one checked by default. And everything still works. Great. Now let's use this logic in our tabs nav. So for our tab item, instead of button, we are going to use a label element. Inside the labels, we are going to have input type radio. Now what we want is the label that has a radio input that is checked to have a different background color. To do that, we can use the hash selector in CSS. So we can simply say tab item _hash, and we're going to say input checked. So we are saying the tab item that has an input that is checked, and we can say this will have a purple background color. Now we can hide our radio inputs by saying the input inside the tab item will have a display of none. Let's just make the first input checked by default, and everything still works. And we can use similar logic to only show the right tab content depending on which input is checked. So we are going to say our tab content will initially have a display of none. And then we can target our tabs wrapper, input with the ID of tab A checked, tabs A content, and give it a display of block. Let's do the same for our other two tabs. And look at that, everything is working just how we want it. It doesn't matter what we have inside our tab contents, everything will work. I hope you learned something new from this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.